rumor has it that a Devil May Cry 1 remake is in the works in the RE engine, and we can expect a similar style to what we've seen in terms of remake treatments as the Resident Evil remake games have been done by Capcom. So let's go ahead and dive into this video. So as you can see here, we've got this kind of wonky AI art with the eye, very uneven eye, but just saying, this can just give us a little taste, an idea of what we can expect from Devil May Cry remake. So this comes to us from DCMF Games on X, aka Twitter. So Devil May Cry remake PS5. Here's the rumored details we have so far. It will be made in the RE engine with better graphics, of course. And I mean, we had Devil May Cry 5 in the RE engine with phenomenal, stupendous, amazing graphics. Just stellar, stunning, incredible, phenomenal, amazing game if you have not played it. I'm a huge Devil May Cry fan. 3 and 5 especially, just chef's kiss, stupendous. All right, so a reworked story, just like what Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4 did, right, with our remakes. So different camera angle, it seems. Okay, so we'll see. If you don't know, like, here is some Devil May Cry 1 for those who don't know. There you go. As you can see, like, there's a bit of a different Dante as well. In 1 and 2, he's like more serious. Those who are familiar with Dante now, who may not be necessarily big into Devil May Cry games, you're used to seeing the goofy pizza Dante, which he's a bit more serious in 1 and 2. Granted, I really like the goofy pizza guitar Dante. He's my favorite, not even gonna lie. And that's what we'll be seeing in the Netflix adaptation as well, which I don't know if that's gonna be good with given who's working on it and Netflix. I mean, come on. But I'm actually somewhat cautiously optimistic about it. Just saying, it could be fun. So anyway, yeah. For those also who aren't experienced with Devil May Cry games, y'all, I mean, those who know, but 1 and 2 just did not get as much positive reception, especially 2 didn't, as like 3, for example. Devil May Cry 3 is like one of the best games ever made. I stand by that. So anyway, let's just continue. But still, I think this is great. I especially would lose my mind over a Devil May Cry 3 remake. I say that, but then also it's like, how could they make it better? I think I don't know if it's possible to make it better, but it would be a fun experience. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. Virgil's voice actor was asked to redo his voice from the younger Virgil days for a game. So I'm guessing this means that this is the source and where the rumors are coming from, because somebody knows the voice actor, or somebody found out somehow that, oh, he was asked to redo his voice from the younger Virgil for a game. This must be a Devil May Cry remake. All right, so this comes to us from MX Hombre 123's acquaintance. All right, so this is he said, right? On Reddit. So this may not be real. It's a rumor. I just think it sounds believable, does it not? I think it does. So I kind of hope it's real, because that's the thing, is we haven't had a Devil May Cry game since 2019, and it was a fantastic game at that. But I love Devil May Cry, so I do want to continue to see more Devil May Cry. It's tough with the climate of where games have been and how a lot of games have been ruined, especially in recent years, right? And we kind of saw that start to happen even at the time that the Devil May Cry 5 came out, right? But it wasn't as bad. Like the whole woke stuff, and it didn't get as bad. But even so, I think that Capcom with the Resident Evil properties have, for the most part, still done a good job at remaining faithful, and they've tried to do the modern audience thing without getting super woke with it. There's still some nitpicks and complaints here and there. I do think that Resident Evil 3 Remake was not that great, but granted, I mean, it's a lot more scripted. It's not as I mean, the game itself, like, right? It's got a lot more set pieces, scripted stuff, and all that. But given that the source material that they were working with, I mean, could it really have been as great as Resident Evil 2 Remake? I don't think so. But I still enjoyed a lot of elements of it. I think ultimately Capcom hasn't completely lost sight of making good games. They have made good games. The Resident Evil remakes have been really good. Devil May Cry 5 was really good. So it's definitely not something I would want to see them ruin. I'd rather not see them continue Devil May Cry at all than to ruin Devil May Cry. That's why I have been pretty okay with this little lull that we have had these few years without a new game. But I would love to see Devil May Cry more on the map again and actually done well and done right. I think Capcom is capable, especially given what we've seen with Devil May Cry 5. Now, if you haven't played Devil May Cry before and these rumors are making you like, hey, I want to play, where do I start? They do have the HD 1 through 3 HD editions on like PS4, Switch, Steam. I don't know if it's on Xbox or not. I don't really play Xbox a lot, but I would say maybe. But anyway, yeah, you can play them there. You're definitely, for newcomers, I mean, you're probably going to enjoy 3 a lot more. I mean, even if you're not a newcomer, if 3 is just the best one out of that collection. You could also just dive into Devil May Cry 5. Granted, you're not going to be familiar with the characters and stuff as much, but still it still works standalone enough, right? And then, of course, let's talk about the DMC reboot, right? The Ninja Theory DMC reboot. That is not Devil May Cry. I'm just going to say that. That is not Devil May Cry. That is a spin-off fan fiction in an inspiration of Devil May Cry. I'll just say that. So if you can look at it that way. Yes, the DMC reboot is really fun. I think it's really good. An amazing game. I would say amazing. Really good game. But they did do what a lot of modern developers do and purposefully try to tick off the fan base of Devil May Cry because, hey, they got a lot of backlash for how they made Dante look. I just don't... I have learned to decompartmentalize it to where these aren't the same characters. They just happen to have the same name, but they're not the same people. And then I can enjoy it. And so I love it. I absolutely love... Oh, look, here we have a screenshot. I absolutely love this game. I'm not even going to lie. I played it so many times. I feel like I'm due for another replay of it. Fantastic game. It's just not Devil May Cry. And then you go ahead and enjoy it, right? So, hey. Anyway. But... And I do think, which is funny, I do think this DMC reboot did as much negative reception as some of the fans gave it. Not necessarily for the gameplay purposes, but for what they've done with the characters and all that. Again, just disconnect it. Just pretend like it's not Devil May Cry. It's something else. They did take inspiration. I swear, even when they first revealed Devil May Cry 5, when they first showed a trailer of that, which I believe was at the Game Awards, when they first, or was that the Game Awards? No, that was like E3. That was E3. It's like at that same theater. I was there. But I think it was like E3 or something. Anyway, I saw that and I was like, what? They're doing DMC 2? I thought they were doing a DMC 2 at first when I saw Nero. Because Nero makes his appearance in Devil May Cry 4, but then you see him in Devil May Cry 5 and he looks and acts like DMC reboot Dante. Seriously, he actually does. So I do think that they were able to take, and he's a fun character. He's just not Dante, right? But they were able to take parts of his look and personality and incorporate that into Nero and Devil May Cry 5. I don't care what anybody says. That character, 1000% inspired Devil May Cry 5's Nero. 1000%. You can't convince me otherwise. So anyway, there you have that. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And if you want me to read the Bible to you, you can check out my Bible channel at Bible Time with Melanie Mack. Thank you all again. I'll catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom.